a state of emergency. Check, check. I need all my Knick fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the feeling. Matter of fact, can you say it from New York what I say it from New York? Hey yo, let's go now.
Hey yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street, alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs, step back, hit a three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy just to see the Knicks play, make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us, whole city is wild. This is New York, why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty, yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking a dub. By the third quarter in, no, they ain't catching up. Gotta stay in the lead before that shot clock buzz. If the Knicks get a win, we gon' do it again. Make the finals once before, we gon' do it again. Bounce back in the fourth, we gon' do it again. It's been a while since the chip, but we gon' do it again, yeah.
Yo, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Yo, put your hands up. If you from New York, put your hands up. Yo, look, put your hands up. If you rockin' with the Knicks, put your hands up. Look, put your hands up. Hey yo, New York City, put your hands up. Sky, baby.
What up, what up, what's going on? It's your boy, Bishop D-Lo, Bishop L. We're here, you're there. It's the Church Guys Sports Show for June the 17th, 2025. We are back. We're back in our regular time slot, ready to talk sports with you out there. So do us a big favor. Now that we're back, I need you to like, share, tag, comment. Let's get everybody in here tonight. We missed you. We were away last week. We were supposed to be out the week before that. And then Tibbs got fired, so we had to come on that week. So we took last week off, but we still got a ton to talk about in the world of sports.
God answers prayer.
So y'all do us a favor, like, share, tag, and comment. I see y'all coming in. Come on, let's get on. Let's get it going. Let's get this show on the road. I'm excited to talk about all the different things that we have to talk about today. And I'm sure Bishop L is as well. We're gonna put the comments up over here in the corner so it allows you to be able to see, so everybody can be able to see what's going on. And we're gonna have some fun tonight. We're gonna have some fun tonight talking. So let's do it. Like, share, tag, comment. We are here. Before we get into that, as you know, Bishop L and I are both bishops in the Lord's Church, a part of the New Life Covenant Fellowship. And so we are sad to announce the passing of one of the great leaders of our fellowship and one of those who was very instrumental in helping to organize our fellowship along with our Archbishop Eric R. Figueroa. Also just an awesome man of God who was also very instrumental in helping organize New Life Tabernacle in Brooklyn, and has been Bishop Figueroa's right hand for 50 years. The great Bishop David J. Billings transitioned on this past weekend, and we are saddened by his loss. So we solicit your prayers as a fellowship. We solicit your prayers for our Archbishop, of course, and for all of those, for his family, for Archbishop Billings, and, he was put in hospice care last year and they didn't give him 6 months, and then he beat that by a long shot. So he lived a full life, and I'm grateful, and my life is better personally for having met the Archbishop David J. Billings, and I'm grateful. L?
Yeah. Here's how I will pay tribute to I'm going to say something
What up?
I'm going to say something that needs to be said. Archbishop David Joseph Billings III, he is really the person that introduced the episcopacy to the Pentecostal church the way that we know it. It was him. I know that there are plenty of people who believe that it was others, but the truth of the matter is it was him. In November of 1998, New York City had never seen, the Pentecostal church had never seen a consecration on this wise. This is the consecration of my father, Archbishop Eric Renard Figueroa Sr., and Bishop Billings was doing this in 1998. Now you check the math, you know when these other protocol institutions started, it was after that. That's all I'm going to say. He was that intricate in bringing Episcopal protocol, the way that we know it, into the Pentecostal church. As a matter of fact, it's his name that signed the documents of many individuals who, I know he signed our documents, Dwayne, but it's his name that has signed the documents of plenty individuals who claim to have, or who have taken credit for introducing the African American church to the Episcopal protocol as we know it. I'm saying all that I'm saying without saying what I'm saying. And so therefore we lower the banner in honor. Everything I know about the episcopacy, he taught it to me. So those of you who have experienced my ministry of Episcopal protocol and Episcopal consultation, you're getting David Joseph Billings III. I miss him already. Having had to go see him once a week, and now we're not going. We would have went today. I think it hit me today, and I miss him already. And y'all pray for your boy, because I do all of the protocol and all of the logistical stuff as far as it pertains to our protocol. So I got to keep looking at this screen all day.
Yeah, this is going to be hard. Yeah.
Seeing his pictures, seeing the program, all of that. And so it's a little overwhelming, because again, I'm looking at the certificates on my wall and his name is on
all of them. Every single document.
Wall.
Yep. I'm looking, you said that, I'm looking up at my wall and it's the same thing. Wow.
His name is on
every single one of them.
One. And so, I don't know. Like, this is, yeah. So, but we're going to make it through this, because Bishop Billings prepared us for this over the last since September. Bishop Billings prepared us for this. And the last time we saw him, he said to us verbatim, "I'll be here until September 15th. That is what he said to us. He wanted to be alive for Archbishop's wedding anniversary and vow renewal, even though he could not be there. That was the 14th. And he said to us, I'm not going nowhere until after the 14th. Straight like that. And he left out of here on the 15th.
15th. Ironically, on Father's Day.
Father's Day. The father.
An apostolic father on Father's Day.
Called an apostolic father.
On Father's Day.
On Father's Day. So, tribute to Archbishop. If I say his name correctly, his title correctly, his beatitude, Metropolitan Archbishop David Joseph Billings III. Services will be in Maryland. State service will be in Maryland. June 27th. That is a Friday morning. And then we will bring him here to New York for the local service at the local church, and then the national service. The venue of that national service will be to be determined. The local service is at the headquarters.
Yeah, we're gonna need a very large place for the national service because I know they're coming from everywhere to celebrate Archbishop Billings. I mean, you saw the outpouring during convocation.
Yeah.
When we honored him during our last Holy Convocation last November, they came from everywhere.
Yeah.
The bishops came from everywhere. So, I mean, I'm sure it'll be even more so now. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. As many as he had in life that came out, which was a tremendous showing, it's going to be probably double or triple that in death. Absolutely. So we are definitely not looking forward to it, but we are looking forward to celebrating his life and his legacy on that day. So we'll be making a trip up to New York for that because I can't not be there. I can't not be there. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward to sending him home right. And the only way we know how to, New Life Covenant style, New Life Archdiocese style.
Oh, we gonna praise him.
It's gonna be a celebration.
We gonna praise him.
We gonna cry a little bit, but it's gonna be a celebration.
Absolutely.
It's gonna be a celebration.
Absolutely.
So we definitely look forward to that. So again, we solicit your prayers. And we needed to take the time to do that. He deserves that much time and that much more. We could take this whole show and dedicate it to him if we wanted to.
When he was able to, he watched the show.
so we owe him that and so much more.
Absolutely.
But we do know that you, our fans, do want to talk some sports, and so do we. So again, the information will be out. The official information of his passing is out. Go to the New Life Covenant Facebook page and our Instagram page for further information. Just be on the lookout. It'll be coming. As far as how you can be a part of the grand celebration to celebrate Archbishop Billings' life along with us in 2 weeks. So we definitely look forward to that. So jumping back into it, I'm trying to text J-Mac to see where he at because we got a lot to talk about in the world of sports. If you saw the blurb that I put out there, he's getting the kids together. He's gonna be on. No problem. We here, J-Mac. We here. I'm just gonna tell him we here. Whatever you get on, we get on. All right. So, and I know he wants to weigh in on a lot of stuff as well because there's a lot to discuss. So, Al, where you want to start today? Because a lot has happened in the last 2 weeks.
I want to let's switch it up a little bit and let's talk about what's happening in the WWE. And
J Mac want to be a part of that too. So,
but Jay would probably want to be a part of that, right?
You know what? Let's talk briefly about something that none of us really want to talk about, but because we are sports commentators, we kind of have to. Okay. And that is the NBA Finals. The NBA Finals is going on right now, and nobody cares.
I'm here.
Listen, get back on camera. And I said this last night. I was talking to somebody last night. I forgot who, but I was like, yo, because my boy texted me. He asked me, my boy Devin texted me. He was like, yo, you watching the game tonight? And I'm like, no.
For no. What?
No.
Watch that.
Why would I watch that? And some of y'all out there would say, "Oh, that's sour grapes of a Knick fan." It's not. This is not an interesting series. I will admit, I watched the second half of Game 1. I did watch the second half of Game 1. Pacers made a tremendous comeback. I give them their props for that. But after they won Game 1, I said, they're not winning this series. They're not winning this series. Even after they won Game 3. I checked and listen. Yeah, let me start here with a hot take and just make everybody mad,
better
right?
than me because I haven't watched one game. I think I saw one 3-pointer yesterday at Applebee's.
I watched the second half of game 1 only because, again, I had to remind myself this is our job. What's going on, Sam? This is our job, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yes, man, I'm not saying this out loud, Sam. But yes, Halle Berry, he choked on something He's been choking on something in this series. And that's what I wanted to talk about. Hey, listen. For all of you Tyrese Halliburton lovers, how is your king now? Mr. Frontrunner, who I've been saying for a number of years, is exactly that. He is just a frontrunner. This is not a guy who is a superstar. Please stop calling him that. And let me just go there for you real quick. Do you think Jalen Brunson would have been in a pivotal 2-2 series, even if the Knicks would have lost Game 5 last night if they were playing? You think Jalen Brunson would only have 4 points?
4.
You think Jalen Brunson would have been 0 for 6 from the field? You think so? But y'all want to put Halliburton on this pedestal. He is a front runner. Can the dude shoot? He absolutely can. When he's open. But if you lock him up, he can't get his own shot. If you force him left, he turns the ball over. He is awful. And I'm putting awful in context. I mean, he is an NBA player, so yes, he's talented. Please don't get me wrong. But when I say awful, he is not him. He's not on SGA's level. He's not on JB's level. He's not on Jason Tatum's level. Stop anointing this dude the next great thing. He's not that guy.
Not that guy.
He has been awful in this series. I'm still mad that he had the audacity at the end of Game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals to act like he thought he don't understand why he didn't win the Eastern Conference the Eastern Conference MVP award.
We haven't had the opportunity to talk about him trying to walk towards the trophy.
Right. Bishop J. Mack is here. But he showed you. Listen, first of all, going back to ECF, Pascal Siakam deserved the award. He deserved it.
Let me guess, y'all talking about your boy Halle Berry.
Not our boy. I just went out. I just said, listen, for all of those that want to anoint this dude a superstar, he is showing you what we've been saying all year long, and y'all called us haters for it. He is not. Let me ask you the question I just posed to the audience, J Mac, and I'm sure you have a great answer. The Knicks are in this series. It's 2-2 going into a pivotal Game 5 out in Oklahoma City. Does Jalen Brunson only have 4 points in Game 5? Even if the Knicks lose?
He trips into 4 points. He trips into that.
Dude had 4 points last night. 4.
The whole game.
And y'all want to anoint him a super. He shot 0 for 6. And y'all want to anoint him a superstar?
I was laughing.
He is not that guy.
I was laughing because everybody called us haters.
Right.
Oh, you just saying that because they beat the Knicks. No. This dude got he had 2 great shots, 2 great game winning. He had game winners in every series. Okay.
Yeah,
but has he had great performances for his team? And last night was a pivotal game. Your superstar's supposed to show up.
You're supposed to step up. Exactly. Yeah, he hit that game winner in Game 1. He was horrible the first 46 minutes of the game. Yes, he hit a big shot, absolutely. But he was a no-show for the first 46 minutes.
Couldn't buy a basket.
That's not a superstar.
Well,
A superstar is gonna go out gunning.
let me just say this.
As bad as John Starks was in that game 7 in '94, he went out shooting.
Let me just say this for the record. Indiana did not beat us. Tom Thibodeau did.
We not revisiting this. He going.
I'm just saying. You said
We're
you-
not revisiting
You
this.
said,
He
"Oh,
going.
we're bitter because you said some people are saying that we're."
That's what they saying. That's what they saying. L, you know that's what they saying.
Indiana did not beat us. Tom Thibodeau beat us, and that's why Tom Thibodeau got fired.
And there are so many different things that come out with that. But we while we were waiting for you, Bishop J Mac, I had to do that because I know you want to talk about everything else. So I want to talk about the one thing that you really didn't really care about talking about. So I threw the NBA Finals in there because none of us have really watched it.
Listen, I might have watched I think I watched the last 3 minutes of game 1.
That's it. I said that. I said I watched it in the game 1. That was it.
Yo, I saw it come across my television. I just was like,
Nope.
like,
Listen,
I
the
started
Knicks
binge watching Godfather of Harlem. Like, yo,
the Knicks
Which is a
searching for-
great show, by the way.
The
I
Knicks
can't
searching for
I
a
can't wait for
coach.
season 4.
The Knicks searching for a coach is bigger news than the NBA Finals. How about that?
Listen, they are made. And I thought about this the other day. The Grizzlies made a blockbuster trade in the middle of the. Do you remember a time where in this league you didn't do that during the finals?
Nope.
Trades didn't even get announced until after the series was over.
yep.
Even if they had agreement in principle, they didn't announce nothing until after the end of the NBA Finals. This is how disrespected this finals is. Nobody cares.
It's not even newsworthy, really. I mean, they're talking of you even first
Yep,
take.
Jalen Williams with 40 last night.
It's more about the offseason and
We gonna get
and the
there,
fact
Kev.
that the Knicks are interviewing Mike Brown and what's his name?
Taylor
this week?
Jenkins.
Taylor Jenkins. That's what the news is. Nobody cares. Listen, I said, oh, somebody scored 40 last night. I had to go and look and okay.
Yeah,
that was
Jalen
great.
Williams.
Yeah. Okay, that was good. Then we got the Jaren Jackson news coming out, rumor talking about the Knicks trying to get JJJ, Triple J, from the Grizzlies. Not going to happen because we don't have the pieces.
And we don't have the money. He's doing it. He's extension eligible.
Yeah. You have to get rid of Bridges. You would have to get rid of Bridges because Bridges is extension eligible after next year.
Correct.
So you'd have to get rid of Bridges.
Team. I really want to run it back with this team. This team with a new coach. I want
And better pieces off the bench.
Yes. Well, I mean, can we really say better pieces off the bench? We didn't.
Yeah, we can.
I mean, our bench
bench
players
was good.
weren't bad.
Well, I'm not saying it because it was. I'm not saying
But
it because
I
it was
do agree
bad.
there are better pieces out there. I
That's
do
what
agree
I'm
with that.
saying.
I do
Right.
agree with that. There are
I'm saying we
there
can
are guys who are
upgrade.
better than what we had.
Yeah.
Not that what we had was bad. It wasn't. But
Like
there are
Kobe-
guys that are better.
Kobe White is available from Chicago.
Kobe White, Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo Ball in the backcourt with Jalen Brunson.
I like
It would
that.
get you
I
your
like
wish,
it.
Butler.
I
It
like
would
it.
get you your wish. JB would be off the ball.
Off the ball.
JB would be off the ball.
I'm telling you, I like it. I
if
like it.
Lonzo Ball comes here, you got a backcourt of Lonzo and JB off the ball.
And you got and Josh Hart can go back to his natural coming off the bench. I like it.
Yes.
I like it.
So there's options out there.
So you do. So let's revert. Let's just like rewind back just a little bit because the coaching situation is very, very interesting, right? The truth of the matter is we're hearing that the door is not completely closed with Jay Kidd. The
And
door,
that's without. It's not.
the door is not completely closed with Jay Kidd because of the dynamic between Jay Kidd and the Dallas Mavericks. He doesn't like the way things was done as far as that trade and him having to be, the somewhat the front guy to address the situation. Ownership,
And he was the last one to know.
he was the
that was
last
crazy.
person to go. And so
That was crazy.
it's being reported. It's being reported. It's being reported that there might actually be a severing between Dallas and this is Ian Begley.
Listen, credible. That's a credible source.
Credible source.
He is a Nick writer. So
there's actually there's possible severing between Dallas and J Kidd because J Kidd isn't necessarily happy with the situation in Dallas and really does not want to be a part of a rebuild like that.
And listen, let me tell y'all something. Somebody said this, I think a week and a half ago, and they made a great point. Everybody that the Knicks went after, it was the teams that said no.
this is correct.
It wasn't the coaches.
I said that in the chat.
The only coach that came out was Ime Udoka.
And understandable because he's building something really nice out there. In Houston.
Right.
I said that in the
But
chat.
everybody else, it was the team that said, you can't talk to my girlfriend. This is my girl. You can't talk to my girl.
And
But they never asked the girl, well, do you want to go?
right. And we also got to keep in mind, like I had to explain to somebody earlier today, saying, all these coaches are, I said, no. First of all,
The coaches had nothing.
First of all, it is a professional courtesy.
Correct.
It is an NBA professional courtesy for a team that is vacant in the head coaching spot to inquire with other teams about the possibility of interviewing their coach. It's really not for the team. It's for that coach to know, yes, we were interested in you. Yes, we did consider, but your peoples did not allow us to interview you.
And the Knicks went after Kidd before. Let's not forget this. And
He interviewed well. And
he interviewed well.
He was a finalist 5 years ago.
He was a finalist. So
and not only that,
and this is before he went to the finals.
Right.
And not only that, I need for people who don't really know what they're talking about.
Come on here, because I'm ready too.
To stop thinking that the Knicks are just out here doing the dumb move. There's no way in the world you will be able to convince anybody knowledgeable of basketball. You will be able to convince them that the Knicks were not aware that they would be rejected by these teams of speaking to their coaches. You cannot, nobody thought that these teams would allow them to speak to their coach, especially the New York Knicks, because the New York Knicks is attractive just because they are the New York Knicks.
Can I give
Even
a very
if they were
natural
losing right now?
Right. Can I give a very natural analogy for all of those that think that this is foreign? If you've gone to a job or gone to a job interview while you currently had a job, on your application, in most places, it will say, can we call your current employer?
That's what it is saying. I know.
Bro,
It's not foreign.
I'll give you one better. I'll give you one better. Tesla was looking for a new CEO and didn't have one lined up. As everybody was saying, the Knicks are crazy because they didn't have a plan. Nobody in corporate America has their next person lined up. They have candidates that they're thinking about, but they don't. That doesn't stop them from getting rid of a CEO or someone in a key position
If they're not doing the job.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't stop. I mean, am I wrong, guys?
Not at all.
That doesn't stop them from making a move.
Leon Rose and this front office, they already know who that coach is. And let me say this to you.
I want to answer this. Go ahead.
My sister is my sister. Can I answer it? Because I'm going to answer it.
Go ahead, answer it.
I couldn't see the comment because of the way my phone is.
Keisha said y'all don't think it's embarrassing, though.
They already know. No.
Embarrassing.
It's not embarrassing. It would be embarrassing if it was training camp and we didn't have a coach.
Which there will be a there'll be a coach in place probably by the draft.
There'll be a coach definitely by the draft. It would be embarrassing if we was going into training camp and be like, we're still looking for a coach. Then I would be like, okay, now what the heck are they doing?
You also got to remember, this is the biggest market in the world.
Yeah.
The league, as we've already discussed, and Keisha, you know this to be true because we've discussed it, there is a vendetta against our team. Do you know that what the Knicks did is called due diligence? Every team with a vacancy does what the Knicks did. If they're casting a wide net, they will call a team and say, hey, what are the chances of us being able to interview your coach? It's only public because it's the Knicks. So people start leaking that information. Most times this is done silently. You don't get teams making statements, oh, we rejected the Knicks, like Dallas did. You know why Dallas did it? Because they're scared kids going to quit and won't go anyway. The reality of the situation is when you are the Knicks, you wear it's again, from a player standpoint, Alan Hahn has said it repeatedly, it's the heaviest jersey in the league. Front office, it's the same thing.
There are certain franchises that supersede the leagues that they're in. All right? And then there are other franchises who depend on the league that they're in. Memphis, Indiana depend on the NBA.
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City depends on the NBA. The Lakers do not depend on the NBA. The NBA depends on the Lakers. The Knicks do not depend on the NBA. The Knicks
NBA
are
depends.
its own entity. The Knicks carry the NBA.
The NBA needs the Knicks to be, as much as the other owners may hate Dolan, they need the Knicks to be good.
They need LA. They need New York.
They need Boston.
They need
those
Boston.
are teams they need.
Those are the teams that the league needs.
Did y'all see
In baseball? The Yankees don't need MLB.
Oh, George proved that when he was alive.
MLB needs the Yankees.
George proved that when he was alive.
MLB needs the Yankees. If we go to the Dodgers, the MLB needs the Dodgers.
Remember, George built that stadium in that first year. He put that big Adidas billboard up there in the back, and the MLB was like, "You can't do that." He said, "This is my stadium. Y'all didn't pay for this."
Stadium. Hockey.
He said, and not only that, I have an exclusive deal with them to manufacture our uniforms. Y'all can do what y'all want to do, but they're making all the Yankee stuff.
Hockey. The Rangers are its own entity.
One of the original 6 in the NHL.
Chicago the Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks.
The Detroit Red Wings. These are teams that don't need the
Toronto
NHL.
Maple Leafs.
Yes, the NHL needs them.
So
y'all gotta understand, there are certain franchises that transcend the brand, transcend the league.
Yep.
And
the brand transcends the league. Yep.
52 years and counting, say it if you want to, 53 years and counting, they still need New York.
Listen, you
don't have to like the Knicks. You can put up all the hate you want, but I'm spitting facts.
LeBron James, the guy who's been the face of the league for the last 20 years, has been on record saying the NBA is better when the Knicks are good.
When the
LeBron
Knicks are
said
good.
that.
Yeah.
LeBron said that.
Here's because Key was like, yo, what's the beef with Dolan? The beef is with Dolan, but it really goes all the way back some years. The NBA has always had a little animosity towards the New York Knicks. Do you guys remember the other day? I went in our chat and I said, has anybody watched Sweetwater?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah,
Right.
Nat Sweetwater Clifton. I didn't get a chance to answer you. I meant to, but yes. And I know Sweetwater. I read the book as well. That story is crazy. The Knicks were the first ones to bring in an African American into the league.
They signed him, right? And so when they signed Sweetwater, then they had the draft. So Sweetwater wasn't even drafted.
Nope.
He was signed. He was signed off of the Harlem Globetrotters. That was from out of Chicago. I don't know how they was. past
The
that.
original Harlem Globetrotters
Right.
are from Chicago. That's
But
correct.
now check it. When they signed this dude Sweetwater, now the rest of the NBA drafts black players. So they had a draft after that signing, after they bought that contract from the Globetrotters. The rest of the NBA now drafts black players to keep New York from getting the publicity of breaking the color barrier. They changed the date of the start of the season from November 1st to October 31st so that Boston could break the color barrier with their black player.
Yep.
And that's crazy. When I saw that,
That's how diabolical it was.
when I saw that on the movie, that's when I text y'all, like, because if y'all would have responded, I would have said, yo, the hate towards this team goes back that far. The hate towards this team goes back that far. And even though Sweetwater didn't break the color barrier, or for lack of a better words, did not, or to bring more context to it, was not the first black NBA basketball player to set foot on an NBA basketball court. Even though he wasn't that, the stadium was still sold out.
And that's why they don't like the Knicks to this day, because even when they're terrible, the Knicks sell out.
19,812 every night.
Every single night. We can be bad. We can be terrible. We can be.
We've been bad.
We've been bad. We've been
17 and 65 sold out every game.
For a stretch of about 7 to 8 years, we didn't even make the playoffs, and every seat was full. At the regular price.
We hold the record.
Right. There was no discounted price when the Knicks were bad.
At the regular price. There was no, let's scale back the prices so that we can get the fans to come here. There was no raffles for tickets. There was none of that.
No giveaways like
they wasn't giving away tickets to youth organizations to fill the garden up.
So other teams hate this team because we are what the Yankees were to MLB, the evil empire.
And again, get on the Knicks for not having a championship 52, 53 years. But they sell out every game, and that's what y'all haters gotta get. And you can say whatever you want. This is the most expensive franchise in the NBA right now.
And not only that, Jay, guess what? Teams win championships, and the fact that we haven't won one still gets more news.
Gets more news than them winning.
There's an NBA Finals going on right now, and all anybody's talking about the Knicks coaching search.
That's what we're talking about.
We're talking about free agency, draft picks,
and coaching.
So to answer your question, King, this friction between the league and the NBA, the NBA and the New York Knicks, it goes all the way back. New York is always it has always been, and you can prove, and you can see it in just about every sport. It has always been the hated market.
New York has always been above the league in every sport.
In every sport, even when we're losing.
New York is just above the league.
Look at the Jets and the Giants. MetLife Stadium is still packed on a Sunday.
Look at
they still chilling and grilling in the parking lot, tailgating on Sundays.
Yeah.
In below frigid temperatures, and the Giants and the Jets can't snip 500, and they still out there.
Sold out every week.
Brooklyn Nets games are sold out.
The Nets games.
And nobody in New York likes them except people from Brooklyn. So.
That's it.
And people from Jersey.
Right, the transplanted Jersey fans, yeah.
But they're not coming over here to watch the game.
Some of them are. There are a few who had season tickets that came.
Diehards.
Yeah, there are a few diehards. There absolutely are. So, with that, along those lines, since you brought up the Brooklyn Nets, we've got to talk about one of their former players who's been linked to the New York Knicks, who we found out, interestingly enough, the Knicks were on the original list of 5 that he and his agent, Rich Kleiman, were trying to get to. And now it's been whittled down to 3, and the Knicks were not on the list. And people are like, oh, well, what's going on? What happened? Come to find out, The Knicks don't want him.
The Knicks informed him. The Knicks informed him.
The Knicks
"No,
have informed Kevin Durant,
We don't want you.
we don't want you.
Well,
Right.
your boy from the other network was upset about it. He was angry.
Stephen A
He
is
said
an
the
idiot.
Knicks don't know what they're doing.
No, the Knicks know exactly what they're doing. Why do I want a 37-year-old Kevin Durant, Stephen A? We don't. Again, we just talked about it.
But I
We
could
don't
have
need,
29
we don't
year
need
old.
a draw at this point. We don't need a marquee draw, if you want
Why
to
do
call
I
it that.
want a 37? First of all, let's really talk. Let's talk.
We're not talking about 31-year-old Kevin Durant
Let's talk the talk.
who could have came here for money
Well, first of all,
but decided to go someplace else,
First of all,
go to Brooklyn.
He wasn't getting that 31-year-old Kevin Durant until he was 32. Let's talk that because
Right, because he was injured. Exactly, because he was going to miss a year anyway.
So he wasn't going to play, and neither was Kyrie. So we were taking a chance with that anyway.
I know you did, Keisha.
Anyway.
You hate Stephen A as much as I do. Solitaire playing nigga.
I used to love Stephen A. Smith, but he has irked my nerves.
Since he got this new money, bro. Since he signed that contract,
He done
this
became
dude,
new money, and
he been on something.
like
Man.
I wish he
on
would
it.
stop telling people he's a Knicks fan because you don't represent us at all.
None whatsoever.
Kevin Durant is 37. He's gonna be 38 this going into the season.
Right, going into the season.
He's gonna be 38. That's number one. Number two, this dude, what are we gonna get out of him?
Not
How
even
much
that,
credit he
Sam.
got
2 to
left
3
on the
years,
time?
not even that.
No.
We only got him for 1 year. If you look at the con, he's only gonna be in 1 year.
Right, that's an expiring contract.
Listen, at the point that Ant-Man brought it to him in the playoffs, we don't want him.
Listen, I would rather go to war with. I'm with L. I would rather run it back with a new coach and some more pieces off the bench. The only thing I'm upset about that the Knicks did in the last week was to find out this week watching that interview of how they did Marcus Morris. But other than that, that's the only thing that upset me.
There's a lot of stories coming out
But-
about Tibbs.
but that's
Even
Tibbs.
Austin Rivers had us. Did you hear Austin Rivers?
I heard Austin Rivers as well. And and both of them, basically him and Austin Rivers had the same thing. They're like, "Yo, my interaction with Tibbs was trash." And Marcus Morris' case, it really bothered me because Marcus Morris he told him, obviously Leon told him, "Listen, you're gonna come here, you're probably not gonna play." He just wanted to be here. He wanted to be that PJ Tucker role, and you would have had him for the entire season. He said he knew the cat trade was happening.
He said another thing he didn't like is that all his doors had closed once he settled on New York, and then they cut him.
Well, the report had come out already that he was signing the contract. It was done.
Exactly.
And then the
they
cat
cut
trade
him.
happened, and then they reneged on it.
Yeah, then they reneged. Yeah. That was, that's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty. That's dirty dog right there. That's dirty dog.
And again, he's somebody they could have used.
Listen, man. Listen. The report is who made the call? Was it Rose? Was it Dolan? This smells like Dolan. I believe that it was Leon Rose and Dolan signed off. That's what I believe.
Right. Dolan had to sign off on it because they just gave him an extension. So
Right.
Dolan would have had to sign because they're like, listen, we're gonna fire this dude. And so if you want to, people want to blame James Dolan so bad. And I'm not a Dolan apologist, not by a long shot.
Oh, we've killed that man on this
But-
show so many times.
I still want to listen.
The reality is Dolan has stayed away from the front office.
Bro, did you see the other story that came out? That during the season when Kemba was here, that Tibbs was on the hot seat that year.
Oh, I didn't see that story.
Yes, that story is out. That Tibbs on the hot seat, and Dolan told Rose, "It's your call. Whatever you say." And Leon Rose decided to keep him,
To keep him.
but he was on the hot seat then from the way that he treated him, from the way he treated Kemba Walker.
But we all had a problem with the way Tibbs treated Kemba. It was terrible.
Yeah, but the owner had the problem with him, and the owner told Leon, "Hey, listen, I want him gone, but I'm gonna leave it up to you."
So
Dolan said this to Leon Rose.
right. So that's why I'm like, yo, y'all want to make Dolan the bad guy. He has done what he said he was going to do. He has stayed out of it.
Exactly. Nah. I refuse to believe it. Listen, this front office has done right since he's gotten here.
I believe that he signed off on it, but I don't believe he
Yes.
made the decision.
No, I believe if Leon Rose would have said keep him, he would have kept him. Even though he didn't like him, he would have kept him.
What's up with Rick Brunson, Keisha? No.
Conflict of interest. That can't happen.
No. If Jalen Brunson wasn't the superstar point guard, you might be able to do. Rick Brunson is gonna have to get his first head coaching job away from his son. Honestly, it's not gonna. It's no players would ever take Rick Brunson seriously coaching his son. This is not AAU in the Bronx.
At the point, first of all,
this is not that.
At the point that Rick Brunson hasn't even been mentioned as a possibility, you need to get ready to see him gone.
They talking about Johnny Bryant. They ain't even talking about this dude.
Right. Johnny Bryant is the only assistant that's being mentioned right now.
That's it. He's the only one.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that he has some history with the Knicks. So he's somebody who understands Tibbs' philosophy. He was his associate head coach 2 years ago. But remember, I said it on our last show. There's got to be something. All of the good assistants keep leaving. All of the assistants with voices keep leaving
for lateral moves.
Right.
They're not even leaving for head coaching positions.
The only one that left for a head coaching job was Woody
in college.
I mean, granted, it was his alma mater, so respect for that. But I agree. We don't because of the issues in the not even just because of issues in the locker room. I just think it would look crazy to have Rick Brunson coaching his superstar son.
It's a conflict of interest.
That would look absolutely nuts.
The players
what's up with
wouldn't go for
Malone? Sam Jennings asked, "What's up with Mike Malone?" He's not a candidate. I think Mike Malone unfortunately gets a bad rap because he's from the same tree as Tibbs. I think that's what's holding him back. Even though it's not fair because it's really his dad Brendan who is from the Tibbs tree because they coached together under Riley and under Van Gundy. But
the Knicks, if you look at the Knicks right now, all the coaches they're looking at are younger coaches.
Younger coaches who are more offensive minded.
Yes, that's what they're looking at. They're not going to go with a rigid Mike Malone again. That's like they should have stayed with Tibbs. They're looking for a younger, open-minded, more down-to-earth, player-friendly, offensive-minded coach. That's what they're looking at.
I mean, the reality is I think I understand the logic here. I mean, I'm not going to say whether I agree with it or not, but I do get the logic. It's like we have two of the best defensive wings in the game. We have probably the best rim protector in the game in Mitchell Robinson. Mm-hmm. When we need to get a stop, we can get one. We got to get this offense together. That seems to be the thought process. Like, we got guys that can get stops when we need a stop. That's not a big deal. We got to get this offense flowing. I really think that's where it is.
If you look at the season, when was OG at his best offensively? When OG was cutting to the basket. We didn't see any of that in the playoffs.
None of it.
We didn't see OG. We didn't see OG. OG was having, when he would go cut to the basket, driving the ball, that's when OG had his best games. We didn't see it not one time in the playoffs from him. He just stayed outside and shot jumpers.
Remember, all season we talked about this team didn't look cohesive at all. And then it comes out that they didn't scrimmage.
And they didn't know their roles.
What NBA? That's why though. What NBA team doesn't scrimmage? They scrimmaged once during training camp. The report said, and none during the season. Why do we? I'm gonna leave this to L. Why do we scrimmage in practice, L? Why did our coaches have a scrimmage at the end of every practice? What was the point of it?
To find out what we was made of.
to find out what we were made of, to build the cohesion, to see who can be trusted in certain moments.
Competitive, like who's gonna?
This is the point. They didn't practice, and remember, we've been saying for 5 years how they're horrible at the end of games. They didn't practice late game situations. All this is coming out. Everything that we talked about over the last 3 years on this show, the stuff we noticed, we're now finding out Tibbs did none of it.
And remember, we were all upset about Jalen dribbling the ball. He's dribbling the air out of the ball.
But that was the offense.
That was
he was like, I gotta figure it out.
I said, that's the offense. I'm telling you, it's coming from the bench. But guess what? It was coming from the bench because they didn't scrimmage.
Right. So you got dribble handoff. You don't know.
Make it up on the fly.
Right. Like you didn't run a bunch of him and Cat pick and rolls in practice so you can see where everybody's spots are. So you can know, because one thing, again, credit to Rick Carlisle, who does a fantastic job. You want to know why Halliburton is such a great passer? And he can throw those no-look dimes? Because clearly they practice. He knows where everybody's supposed to be when they're supposed to be there because they clearly worked on it. You can throw those no-look. Everybody wants to talk about, that the sight of that those no-look passes. No, that's practice. If I know that if I'm coming down the wing, if I get doubled, I know Ella's going to cut to the corner. He's going to be wide open. I ain't even got to look. I'm just throwing it there because I know he's going to be at that spot.
Going to be there.
Because we practiced it. We did this in our scrimmage. And he was in that spot every time. So when the double comes, I'm not even looking that way. I'm looking away. El's there.
It builds the chemistry. It builds and creates and solidifies and it does something with the chemistry.
Keisha asks, are y'all good with Mike Brown as a coach?
I don't know.
I'm not for it. I'm not against it. Mike Brown, I take a wait and see approach because Mike Brown has only had a great team once, and that was in Cleveland. He only had a great team once, and they were great. They went to the finals.
That was Cleveland, right?
Yeah, that was Cleveland. So I know he can coach talent. He turned around Sacramento before they did him dirty in Sacramento. And again, it's a different league. If I feel like they did him dirty because he called out De'Aaron Fox. But listen, I feel like a coach should be able to do that. If your star player's not giving it to you, you're supposed to be able to call him out.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm not for it. I'm not against it. Bishop Heflin, what's going on, bro? Late gearing up for football season and been in camp all week. I hear you. I definitely understand. The Liberty game is going crazy right now. Liberty dropped their first game of the season the other night to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, shockingly enough.
Oh, jeez.
Nah, Caitlin Clark, she killed that game. She was great.
She can't work, huh?
But the Liberty is still a juggernaut. But, and Keisha's going to get mad, I have got to shout out Angel Reese. Second woman in WNBA history with a triple-double. Second. There's only been two.
Gotta put some respect
Hater
on
or
that
lover.
girl name.
Hater or lover.
Gotta put some respect on that girl name. I'm sorry.
I'll admit, I didn't see those 11 assists coming.
The key's that's just a little sibling rivalry.
The girl is hitting threes now too.
Oh, I hope if she adds that to her arsenal, that's gonna be a problem.
She's added it to her arsenal. She's added it.
Angel Reese play, man. Angel Reese can play. Angel Keys don't like her.
We're gonna get to the WWE in a minute.
I put up that video the other day. I put up that video the other day. Homegirl is coming here, and I know she said, "Oh, well, she said she wants to win for Chicago." Yeah, well, she got to say that because she's on the Chicago Sky. She's on the team. But that girl wants to be in New York. She's made it clear. She wants to be in New York. She only had 1 3, but that's more than what she was hitting before.
Keisha, shut up. It wasn't UConn. It's the Connecticut Sun.
That's right.
UConn is a college team. These are professionals.
She hates that girl. That's
She
crazy.
does. She really does. It's the hate.
You have
is
to
just
ask. You
ridiculous.
have to ask her that, Bishop. You gotta ask her that.
Yeah, Bishop Eflin, you got to ask Keisha, why does she hate her?
We've never gotten the answer, so maybe you can get it from her.
'Cause
Listen,
LeBron she probably turned down LeBron. Braun was probably trying to holler
At Angel.
Angel.
You know, Jaylen Brown already got it, so.
And Angel Reese was like, "Nah, son, you got that ball spot up at the top of your head."
ah,
You got to cut it all off.
Yeah, that's probably what it was.
Listen, she had a triple-double. Got to give that girl her due, man.
give her due. Like, listen, you can say what you want about the girl, but at the end of the day, this girl ever get a jump shot, it's over for the league. I'm just gonna put it that way.
She's working on it.
And you got to remember, she's only 23.
Right.
She's only 23.
And she's improving every year.
Listen,
It's improving every year.
She's improving every year. Every year she's getting a little better.
She's getting better.
Just in time to sign with the Liberty.
That's right. That stock is gonna go up.
listen.
Whether she got her own rebounds or not, she got her rebounds. If it's her own rebounds, that means she outworked whoever was trying to get the defensive rebound.
Listen, and listen, you can troll it all you want, and people that coin the phrase "me bounds." She about to take that and go to the bank with it.
That's right. Because rebounds are rebounds on paper. On
Listen.
paper, nobody's looking at, well, how did he get those how did she get those rebounds? No, when you go to the negotiating table, no, I average X amount of rebounds for the season.
That's all they're gonna look at, whether they her own misses or not. You know how many people in the NBA don't get their own misses back, point blank at the rim. Listen, she's getting her team extra possessions. No matter what you may think about it, at the end of the day, she's doing her job. And yes, there is a patent pending for me bounds. Very smart girl.
Yep, she going to the bank with that.
Listen,
She going to the bank. She going to the bank with that.
how can you possibly hate on this girl? Like, really? How
Can't
can
hate
you?
on that girl, man.
Go borrow some money from a key.
The life that girl had, you know, with the single mom, and listen, this girl is doing her thing, man. This girl, she's a black woman doing her thing. I can't hate on that lady, man.
No. Not by a long shot.
I can't hate on her. I just can't. I can't join in that. She all right, okay.
Keisha,
I can't join in that. I
we
can't.
gotta. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave Keisha alone. I'm gonna be nice. But shifting gears away from the NBA, the Knicks coaching search will continue. I think Taylor Jenkins will be a good candidate, Mike Brown, but I do think that there is something to this Jason Kidd thing, and I think Jason Kidd may end up just quitting his job, a la Pat Riley in '95, and just deciding to take his chances in New York.
Yeah, then we'll get hit with the only tampering. We will get hard with the tampering, yo. We will get hit hard with that.
Listen, and I would say if you let Mickey Arison get away with it in '95, you gotta let us rock this year. That's what I would say.
And they definitely let me. And the Knicks got no.
She said, "Nah, I'm okay. I'd rather go to the strip
Oh,
club." Shut
listen,
up, Keisha.
You're not gonna let them get away with it, and here's the reason why: because it was done against the Knicks when Pat Riley did it.
Mm-hmm.
It was
And
done
sent us a fax. How about that?
But sent a
against
fax.
the Knicks.
Dude, quit with a.
That's the equivalent to an email or a text today.
A text today. Right. The kid gonna text Nico Harrison and be like, I quit. Going to New York. I'm out. But turning our attention to World Wrestling Entertainment. A lot to talk about there. I'm gonna go right there. We're just gonna go right in with it because I know Keisha's been waiting for this for us to discuss this. The 51-day reign of one main event Jey Uso ended unceremoniously on Monday Night Raw last week at the hands of the man who he took the title off of at WrestleMania, Gunther. I got a lot of issues with this.
Disrespectful.
And I don't feel like Triple H gets it wrong often, but I feel like he got it wrong this time. Fellas?
I already told y'all how I felt. I don't know if we need to put that on our show today, but I told y'all how I feel about it. I told y'all how I feel about it. I don't want to put it on our show because, you know, but I don't know. Jay?
You see, J Mac is biting his lip right now because he's ready to go in. He's ready to go. We might get him a can't rant about the WWE tonight.
You know what? Let's just talk right now about the suspect writing that's happening in the WWE. It's very suspect. I feel like they are grabbing at straws now. I feel like yo, when you think about merch, Mommy is selling like crazy. Jey Uso is selling like crazy. These are people. Damian Priest is selling like crazy. These are people that are bringing a lot of money to the business. They're bringing a lot of money to the business. Why are you allowing, or why are you writing this limbo style storyline for these individuals who all, with the exception of Mommy, and those of you who don't know who I'm talking about, Rhea Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
They are all individuals who are not clear. I'm trying to. And this, your mother-in-law is on the cabinet at 1600 Pennsylvania, which lets me know where you kind of stand. I'm sure.
No, I'm not gonna put that on him.
Go Jay, go Jay, go Jay, go Jay.
So, y'all know I'm probably one of the most passionate guys when it comes to WWE. Y'all already know. I'm into this. I did not agree with them taking the title off of Jey and giving it to Gunther. I will say I wouldn't have minded if he lost it to somebody else. But I did not agree with him losing to Gunther, which lets me know that this was a WrestleMania moment. I'm going to be honest with you. Y'all may not agree with this take, but the people that Butler mentioned, Jey, Mommy, not Priest so much, but those two, they really don't need the title. Jey doesn't need the title. He doesn't need it. Jey was over before he got the title. Jey Uso is over without the title.
True.
Mommy, she's over. She's over without the title.
Big facts.
So you got to look at that. Usually people with the title, they need the title, and they need the title. Gunther is a character. As good as he is in the ring, he's boring as...
Here's the issue. During that 250 some odd day reign that he had as champion, he only defended the title 6 times. That's once every 6 weeks.
This is the new WWE. This is the new WWE. No more you have to defend the title at least every 30 days, or else you get stripped. They cut that out when Roman became the champ.
I miss Jack Tunney.
When Roman became the champ.
These younger ones don't get that reference, J-Mac. They don't get that reference. Only us originals get that reference that I just made.
That's why I started laughing.
I need Jack Tunney back.
When Roman became the champ, the 30-day window went out. The 30-day clause went out the window. So
the rematch clause went out the window. Everything went out the window
when Roman became champ.
Because there used to be like mandatory rematches. You don't get that anymore.
It's not mandatory anymore. Just like Jay. Jay just lost the title. He's in the King of the Ring tournament. He's not getting a rematch.
Right. But here's the gotcha though. Gunther got his rematch.
Exactly. So that lets you know WWE does whatever it wants. Hence, we got Bill Goldberg,
who nobody wants to see.
And I want to say this. Nobody wants to see. He gets a title shot out of nowhere without rhyme or reason just because he wants one over something that was said to him about his family 8 months ago. 8 months ago.
8 months ago. Yep, I remember. I remember when Gunther said it.
In Atlanta, 8 months ago. And you because rumor has it, this is going to be Goldberg's last match.
Yeah, Saturday night's main event, July 12th.
It's going to be in
Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to be down there, but I heard it's already sold out, so I can't even get a ticket if I wanted to.
But that's the problem. That's why they did it.
That's why they did it.
It's already sold out.
Yeah, they're selling, because that's a big weekend. Main event is on Saturday. Women's Evolution is on Sunday.
Sunday, yep.
In Atlanta. So that's a whole...
It's a weekend.
It's about this.
Yep.
It's TKO now.
That's why they canceled New Orleans and went back to Vegas.
Went back to Vegas. Said, okay, nope. We made crazy money out there. We going back there another year. We going to see if we can top it.
Which, for the record, we broke the location before anybody else knew, but I'm going to leave that alone.
We did. Yes, we did.
Next question. Yeah. When you have a championship in the WWE, does that somewhat make you a face of the league?
In some cases, no.
Right. Like, let's go back to the Attitude Era. Rocky and Stone Cold were arguably the faces of the league, so to speak. Mm-hmm. Stone Cold held the belt for most of that time. Rocky held it some of the times, but they rivaled each other for popularity in terms of being the face. Rock was the first to really prove that you don't need a belt in order to be that over.
Yes.
Okay.
And Triple H was sprinkled in there a few times as champion.
Well, Triple H was the perfect heel foil for both of them. Like,
yes.
Triple H, the cerebral assassin, like, he was good.
You're using real exceptions to the rule.
Why do you say they're exceptions?
Come on. Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H, their characters, their personalities was bigger than the belt. I
agree with you, but you got to remember these are also three guys. I'm just going to use Rock, Triple H, and Stone Cold. These are three guys whose original gimmicks flopped.
No, I know that their original gimmicks flopped.
So
Absolutely.
they still had to get over.
But they eventually got over because writers were writing. And
Actually, in their cases, it was because they took the pen out of the writer's hands and let them be
I was
themselves.
gonna say this. You talking about three guys
That's
who
exactly
were great on the stick. They were great on the microphone.
Yeah,
They got
writers.
themselves over
That's
on the
exactly what I
mic.
was going to say. So those guys are real exceptions to the rule, right? These are individuals who have impeccable movie credits behind them.
Right. They were not manufactured by the machine.
Right. So now, whereas with Hulk Hogan,
He was manufactured by the machine.
manufactured by the machine. With Randy Savage, kind of, sort of, right?
It started with him being manufactured, but he got over. He got super over on his own.
Him
Got
and
over.
Elizabeth got over.
Yeah. Yes. That him and yes, Elizabeth was huge for him getting over. I absolutely
Yes.
agree with that. I
So
absolutely agree with
now,
that.
this culture, this era of the WWE,
Keisha, that's a good example. Shawn Michaels. That's a good example.
asking, is this, isn't it true that this culture of the WWE, the belt gives you more front time, more front line time, more spotlight time, more this is who we're pushing right now.
No, I disagree. No, it's not. Because I'll give you a perfect example of a guy that's barely there and doesn't have the belt and is over to the moon and hasn't seen the title for 2 years. That's Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Roman hasn't had the title since the WrestleMania before. Roman hasn't been near the title, but Roman is over.
True.
And he doesn't need the belt.
He main evented night one of WrestleMania this year without the belt.
Without a title. And
yeah, but Roman,
Cody's another one. Cody is at the point. What you said?
How many days did Roman win? How many days was his reign?
Oh, it was over 1,300 days.
That's like 4 years almost, right? Like
it is 4 years.
So
4 or 5 years.
After holding it for that long, I can see us saying he doesn't need it anymore.
But Cody is there now. Cody doesn't need the title.
Cody doesn't need it anymore neither. But I think one of the reasons why Cody doesn't need it anymore is because everybody loved Cody before he got it.
But this is what I'm saying. So there are exceptions.
Wait, but you know what too? They loved Cody before he got it, but they didn't enjoy Cody while he had it.
Because some people are better chasers. They're better chasers than chasees. Cody is the type of guy who's a great chaser. You root for him while he's chasing the title. There are guys like that in wrestling. There are women like that. You love them to be the underdog. They're chasing. They're great chasers of the title. Macho Man, Savage was a great chaser.
This leads to my next question then.
Yes.
Is there anybody that's not white with a belt?
That's not white with a belt? Well, Jay was the only one. And we got Jacob right now is the U.S. champion, Jacob Fatu. And he's gonna be in the main event picture in the next year. Because he's white hot right now. The WWE is gonna have no choice but to put the belt on Jacob Fatu. And when you hear him talk, dude is like, he like some dude from Brownsville. They're gonna have to push him. When he comes out, the crowd starts chanting. That's why they had to make him a babyface. They didn't want, and let me tell you, they didn't want to make him a babyface this quick.
Yeah.
They wanted him to remain a heel. But because the chants are so loud, they start cheering for this dude as soon as he comes out the curtain.
Yeah.
they had to separate him from what you call him and make him a face. But let's just to get to your question about white face.
They had to separate him from Sikoa.
Solo Sikoa, they had to separate him. Yeah, because he's so white hot right now.
Yeah, Key, I'm gonna pull the race card. Absolutely. I'm pulling the race card, not really pulling. I'm just asking a question for clarity. Like I'm noticing.
But you're right.
I'm noticing that there ain't no black folk at the top of the food chain with that belt.
Well, that's been the knock on Triple H, you know.
Right.
He's been accused. He's been accused of that.
You telling me Bianca shouldn't have had that? Bianca should have had that belt.
Well, they righted that wrong because now they gave Trinity the briefcase. Jimmy's wife. She has the Money in the Bank briefcase. I call her by her real name, Trinity.
You call her by her real name, yeah, but
the glow. Yeah. She has the Money in the Bank. She got MIB.
Yeah, but I don't see them. I see her cashing it in, but I don't see her winning because she cashed it in.
She's gonna win, but how long is the reign gonna be?
10 days.
And I'm gonna tell you why she's gonna win it. She's gonna win it because looking down the line, there's gonna be a triple threat match.
Okay.
Between her,
Naomi,
Bianca, and Jade. There's gonna be a triple threat. And the title's gonna be involved. That's why they gave her the Money in the Bank. That match is happening at Mania. I'm telling you right now, that's a WrestleMania match. That title is going to be involved, and it's going to be the three ladies. It's going to be those three who were once all friends and tag team champs. They were all close, and now at WrestleMania they're going to be fighting. I want them to make Bianca a heel, though. They won't do it. They won't turn Bianca heel. They turn Trinity heel. I don't want to see that. We all wanted to see Bianca turn heel.
Bianca would have been a great heel.
That's what we all want.
They ain't doing it. They ain't doing it.
And you know who else? And I know we talking about, but you know who else got cooled off, but they still can't cool them off? LA Knight. They won't push that guy because of his age. But you would never know how old he is by the shape that he in.
Yeah.
But the crowd loves LA Knight. And they keep forcing him in mid-card. They won't let him go to the top. They keep forcing him in the mid-card. LA Knight is another guy that they holding back. You know, this Goldberg thing, I am not, and I call him Oldberg. That's what I call him. I'm not happy about Oldberg being in the main event of Saturday night's main event just so he can get a retirement match.
Right, that he's going to have to lose because that's the way it works. You go out on your back.
There's whispers that he might win.
Oh, that would be awful. That would absolutely be. So what, he wins and then you have Seth cash in on him?
Or right. You gonna have Seth cash in on Oldberg. Or he goes to SummerSlam and drops it back to Gunther.
As great a technical wrestler as Gunther is, and he absolutely is, don't get me wrong.
Boring.
The wrestling purist in me loves him. But the sports entertainment guy in me, I don't want to see Gunther at the top of Gunther is a mid-carder at best.
He's terrible, yeah.
And you keep trying to push him to the top of the food chain, and he just doesn't have that. He doesn't have the charisma to stay on top. Not to me, anyway. Not to me.
No, you're right, and that's what I was saying before you left. He has no charisma whatsoever.
I mean,
he is so boring.
And I agree with you. I mean, if you want to have somebody else take the belt off of Jay, put Jay in a real feud. Let Jay get into a feud. I mean, you tease Jay and Seth. Let Seth get into a real feud with him. Seth got his faction. He's the perfect heel foil. You can still make Jay look strong because you can have the faction with Heyman. And that's a storyline by itself because let me write for a second. Y'all get with me. I'm going to write for a second. You put Seth into a program with Jay. They go back and forth till SummerSlam. Seth's new faction, which still doesn't really have a name, led by Paul Heyman.
That's can't important. Stand it, by the way, but continue.
Right, led by Paul Heyman. They get the belt off of Jay and put it on Seth. Jay still obviously is still strong because the belt didn't get taken off of him cleanly. It awakens something in Jay. He goes to get Jimmy. They go back into the tag team division, taking you into Survivor Series against Braun Breaker and
Bronson Reed.
They fight them. Seth interferes. That gets the big dog involved. You put the OG bloodline back together. And now you've got Seth versus Roman to start the year, leading you into WrestleMania season, going into your second WrestleMania in Vegas.
And that's what everybody wants to see.
And that's money.
Everybody wants to see Seth versus Roman.
Because we've never gotten Seth versus Roman one-on-one. We've never gotten it.
The last time we got it, Seth won by DQ because Roman wouldn't break the chokehold.
Right. So you got both factions in each corner. You got Heyman because this is the former wise man. He screwed Roman and he screwed Punk. And now you're in WrestleMania. Everybody's barred from ringside. That's your night one main event. Seth versus Roman. Nobody there for the WWE heavyweight title. Did I write it or did I write it?
I love it. It's better than what we got right now, that's for sure. Because this is dog meat right here, man. I'm very shocked I'm very surprised at Triple H, man. We've been singing his praises and then we get Oldberg. We got Oldberg in Saturday night's main event.
But how much of this do you think is pressure from TKO?
I think it's a whole bunch of pressure because word came out that they're bankrupt and they're trying to make up this money, and they're doing it on the WWE side of the house because
that's the side that's making. They need to TKO needs to just cut ties with UFC and just continue on with the WWE.
Yeah, because that's where the money is being made at.
Because how are you're bankrupt, but the WWE is enjoying some of its best earnings ever. How is that possible? That means UFC is in the toilet.
That's why they can go back to Vegas and call their shot. We going back to Vegas. We calling our shot.
Listen, I'm going, but still.
Listen.
I'm going.
You going?
I signed up for the pre-sale. I'm going. I think we all going. But
yeah. Because we were saying we were going to go to New Orleans.
We were going to go to New Orleans, right. We going. I mean, and it's not like the three of us hate Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like we hate Vegas.
I just had a conversation today about Vegas.
So I was going to go to the Joint College, but I think I'm going to take that money to Vegas.
That's what I wasn't planning to go to the Joint College. I'm going to Vegas.
George. Wait, hold on. Let me see something. Let me see. Let me see. Hold on 1 second. I have to just no. I gotta, because my trip was being sponsored to
the Joint College.
To the Joint College.
You gonna call them on live? Oh, are we live? Really?
Hey, babe.
Hey, babe.
So I know that you was sending me to the Joint College in March. Can we switch that to? Can we just switch that to WrestleMania in April?
What?
It's
What? You don't want to go to Detroit?
no, because it's in
No.
Vegas.
Okay, so you want to go to WrestleMania?
In Vegas.
WrestleMania is in Vegas. I was about to say, you don't want to go to Detroit? It's in Vegas. WrestleMania is in Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, when is that? April, right?
When is
April
April-
18th and 19th.
April 18th and 19th?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
You're on the air. The people hear you.
That's fine. They can hear me, and you know you're gonna go if you hear me.
I love you, sister.
Love you, brother.
We going to Vegas, baby.
Vegas, yes. We in there.
Vegas,
Then I
baby.
gotta get my ticket punched now. See, now I got to
We
work my
in there.
magic. I got to work my magic.
Work your magic, sir. Work your magic.
We going to Vegas, baby.
I got to talk to my people and get me an Airbnb out there early reserved.
Woo! I'm staying at the MGM Grand. That's my favorite spot.
I love the MGM Grand, but I know it's going to be an arm and a leg to get in that place. So,
It probably is. So
that's what I'm trying to
let's
do.
get
That's
the
why
Airbnb. We can share the Airbnb.
listen, that's what
I'm
I'm
here for
saying.
it.
I'm going to check on the Airbnb, brother.
We can do that. That works.
Yes. I mean, I love staying on the strip, but you know it's going to be crazy on that strip the whole weekend.
Woo! We going to Vegas. WrestleMania. Here we go, baby.
Because
Yes.
I can get a flight out of Richmond on Thursday and be there for the whole weekend.
Yeah, I gotta get that going.
Who's going to church that day? What?
I'm not going.
I'm not going to be in church that Sunday. I'm probably not going to come back till Monday.
We can't say this on live.
Actually, I might. Actually, no, I'm not going to be back till Tuesday because I got to go to Raw on Monday.
I was gonna say I might not be back till Tuesday.
Yeah, I got to go to Raw on Monday. So
They're gonna still have some Mania after parties.
Because you're gonna have the SmackDown before Mania. You can have Stand and Deliver on the SmackDown before Mania into the Hall of Fame that night, Friday night. Saturday night, Stand and Deliver during the day, followed by Mania Night 1 that night, then Mania Night 2 on Sunday, and then Raw on Monday.
Happy birthday, Mom. We'll be at WrestleMania.
Listen, my day, as long as it's not Easter weekend, I'm good.
It ain't on Easter weekend. I checked.
So we good.
It ain't on Easter weekend this year.
Listen, we can say that on live. We are pastors. We are allowed to take a Sunday off.
The people are.
They take it whether we allow it or not.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, I said that out loud. My bad.
Ooh, yeah. We will be at WrestleMania. Tell you now, we're going to be incredible. You've never seen
I'm
it.
ready.
Never seen anything like this with the Church Guys Sports Show in Vegas for WrestleMania.
Oh, and we will be live from out there. It's gonna be crazy.
We
It's gonna be absolutely nuts.
going to Lolo's. We're gonna go to Lolo's. I'm going to Lolo's.
Of course. Going to Lolo's, going to Bulldogies, going everywhere.
I love their French toast.
Who?
Lolo's.
Woo!
I love their French
I'm
toast.
not drinking none of those Kool-Aids. That's out of control. I'm not drinking.
There's too much sugar. No.
Yeah, that thing have tears coming out your eyes.
That is way out of control. That's way out. Like you need like the cup of Kool-Aid is this big. You need water that big.
Right, to overpower it.
Sam Jennings said,
Overpower it,
make
yo.
sure y'all collect the ties from the wrestlers. Listen, I will go out there witnessing. Like you ain't even gotta come to service. I just need you to.
Saudi don't want Goldberg back. You
No, yeah,
forget
they
the
don't
last
want him
time
back.
that
The
the
last
last time Goldberg was there,
that was
he
terrible.
dropped the Undertaker on his head.
Almost ended the Undertaker's life. Absolutely not. Kevin Darnell Lewis asked, "Are we going to SummerSlam?" Nope, not going to SummerSlam. Even though it is at MetLife, but no, not going to SummerSlam this year.
They be having transportation issues getting home from
Yes. Having been when my cousin played for the Vikings, I went to a Monday night game between the Vikings and the Jets, and when I tell you it was crazy just getting back to my car because obviously there's so many cars there. I was in one of the auxiliary lots, and you had to take a bus to the other lot, and then it took me an hour. I mean, honestly, it was post game. Then I went back down into the Viking locker room or whatever, talked to my cousin, talked to some players or whatever, took some pictures or whatever, and all of that. But by the time we came out, if you think stadium, it was still mad people there. It took an hour to get my bus back to my car.
When
That was
they had
nuts.
when they had SummerSlam at MetLife the other year, the SummerSlam got out after 12.
Oh yeah,
after
there was no more
11:30.
trains. Yeah, New Jersey trains were shut down.
New Jersey Transit had shut down for the night
Yep.
and stranded everybody at MetLife Stadium. And people didn't get out, they didn't leave from out there until it started back up at 5 in the morning. So folks was just standing around for like 4 or 5 hours after the event until public transportation opened back up. That's what happened out there.
Can't
I
have that.
said they will never get me out to MetLife for
Nope.
a WWE event. Not me. You ain't gonna get me stuck out there.
And it's a 2-night SummerSlam.
Yup, won't get me stuck. They better have a arrangement with New Jersey Transit.
I hope that I don't know how they missed it the first time. Like that's crazy.
They miscalculated. They didn't even think about it.
Well, that's when Vince was in charge and he was trying to put everything on one show, and the shows was just getting too long. Like I felt that way about WrestleMania when WrestleMania was still one night and they was going into, oh my God, like 3, 2, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning from the pre-show, which was starting at 4 in the afternoon. Listen, I love wrestling as much as the next guy, but not enough to sit in the stadium for 9 hours.
I'm telling you, man.
Definitely going to sleep.
9 hours in the stadium? No, sir. No, sir. Which is one of the reasons why they went to 2 nights. It's one of the reasons why they went to 2 nights. Like, you know, I agree with it. That was a great move by the WWE to go to 2 nights because
The pandemic helped them do that.
it did. It did. It did. So
Yeah.
that was definitely so. It's settled. Y'all can join us in Vegas. We'd love to see you. But
Bro, I want to
WrestleMania.
make one more point before we go.
Yep. Go ahead.
What do y'all? I got a question for y'all. What do y'all think about this new faction with Seth Rollins, the Wise Man, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed? What are y'all thoughts on it? Because I have my thoughts, but I want to know what y'all before we get out of here. I want to know how y'all feel about it.
I think it's a reach. I think they're grabbing at straws, trying to do something. I don't like it.
I don't feel like Seth needed a faction.
Right.
Seth has especially
Monday
after
Night
what he did to destroy the Shield. Putting him back in a faction didn't make sense to me.
You the Monday Night Messiah.
Right.
Right? Like, my man, the way he came out at WrestleMania, he didn't need
No.
a faction. I think it's I really
I guess it's there to elevate Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I get that. But I can see Heyman with them, but there's really not a need to have him as a part, Seth as a part of that.
Okay, because I was saying,
Because Seth doesn't need a wise man. Seth has
Yeah.
never needed a wise man.
Why would an architect need a wise man? He's the architect, isn't he?
That's what they said.
That's what he calls himself. He's the architect. He's a visionary.
That would
a
have been like
revolutionary.
that would have been like him. That would have been like Triple H aligning with Heyman during his heyday in the 90s.
It makes
Cerebral assassin. What do you need a wise man for?
And I agree. I think this is a reach. I think it's going nowhere.
It is.
It's going nowhere.
It
fast.
has not been good. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but it has not been good.
Yeah, it's going nowhere fast.
fast.
You know, and I think I don't even know if it lasts past Survivor Series. I don't know if this faction lasts past Survivor Series.
Because there isn't a point for it.
No. I mean, and then where does Heyman go after this? Because usually you put Heyman with somebody who's not good on the microphone. Like Roman wasn't strong on the mic, so it made sense for him to be with Roman. Because there'll be times he would do, you know, but as time went on, Roman
Roman got better.
But he still needed Paul Heyman to speak for him.
He was because Heyman was still believable with Roman as a wise man, because Roman was now in uncharted territory for Roman. So from a psychological standpoint, you could still see it, even though you could still see why it was necessary, even though he had gotten better on the mic. Seth has already done it all. So what does he need a wise man for?
And then,
because the point of being I'm
if-
sorry, but I have to get this out. The point of being a Paul Heyman guy is for him to elevate you.
Right.
That's the point of being a Paul Heyman guy.
Seth doesn't need that.
He doesn't.
but
I'm sorry,
fellas,
J-Mac.
No, it's all right. Don't forget this. Bronson Reed and Seth were feuding.
That's true.
He hurt his leg.
He broke his ankle.
Broke his ankle.
Yep.
Splashing on trying to.
On Seth. Yep. I remember.
And then when he comes back there, he joins with them.
And we've
there's
never
no
got an explanation.
There's no storyline to explain that. That's why I'm saying this whole thing just.
Listen, only thing I'm really enjoying right now is Ron Killings.
Loving it. Loving it.
No longer
Loving Ron
R-Truth.
Killings.
And my man is, again, showing the genius of Ron Killings. My man, he's taking us back to the days of kayfabe, because my man is staying in character everywhere he goes. He went on Busted Open this week in character. I was watching that interview going, this is freaking brilliant. This is good stuff right here.
Yo, did he put Bully Ray in his place?
He shut Bully Ray down. He made Bully Ray speechless, and that never happens. Bully Ray is always talking. He made Bully Ray.
He said, who are you to tell me?
Who the filth are you?
Yeah. I think Braun will eventually clash with Seth, but even then, they could have did that without them coming together.
Correct.
They didn't need for them to go in a faction for Seth to feud with Braun. And the other thing I don't understand is, why does Seth need the Money in the Bank briefcase? He doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it. Did not. And to me, that tarnished what was a really good match.
Yes. LA
That
Knight
tarnished
should
what
have
was
won
a
that
really,
briefcase.
really good match.
LA Knight should have won.
I thought it was going to be either LA Knight or what you call it, the luchador. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now.
I know you're talking about. Yeah, it would have been nice.
I thought it was
going
going to be one of them.
It.
I thought it was going to be one of them. But to put it on again, he does not need it. He is a main eventer. The purpose of Money in the Bank is to elevate you to the main event scene.
Yeah, I don't know what WWE is doing right now. I'm gonna start getting back into NXT and TNA, because right now WWE they losing me.
And AAA, Joe Hendry showed up on AAA this week. That pop he got was phenomenal.
Yeah. And everybody was upset because he lost the title to Trick. But now look at what they doing with him. And he doesn't have the title. He's showing up in AAA.
Again,
Boom.
Joe Hendry has gotten to the point where he's another guy that doesn't need it.
He don't need the title. His name is so big.
He is completely over. And I mean, it's just time to get Trick on the main roster. Like,
did you know Elias is in NXT?
He's back in NXT. I didn't see him.
I saw it just now before I came downstairs. He's in NXT with his guitar and everything.
Oh, he's back.
Yes,
okay.
He's in NXT.
They just cut him 6 months ago. What is going on?
Elias is in NXT.
I'm gonna stop
with Elias.
I'm gonna stop asking questions.
That's what they want us to do, though. They just want us to accept it and don't say anything. But you can't do that to this era of wrestling fan.
No, way too smart. This
era
of fans is way too smart.
You ain't gonna rewind the clock and tell us you're gonna eat crap and like it. It's not gonna work with us.
And this is what kills me. Like, you're going into this where you're trying to give us amnesia, but Paul, you were the king of long-term storytelling just a couple months ago. Like, you were calling stuff back from years ago, and we were like, yeah, Yeah, that makes sense. Now you're doing stuff that don't make sense again.
What happened is all I'm asking. What happened?
What do you mean?
It's not the writers, L. It's Triple H.
Okay.
It's H.
I mean, I think it's the people above him. I really think there's a lot of pressure on him right now.
The Rock, they said The Rock and him are feuding.
Well, I mean, you kind of expect that. They never really got along anyway. And the fact that Triple H is still best friends with Shawn Michaels, we all know the history of Rock and Michaels with
They
Vince.
never fought because they never even fought in the ring, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
We never got to see Rock versus Michaels because they didn't like each other.
Well, that's because Michaels was trying to bury him.
Him and Triple H was trying to
They was trying to bury him. They was trying to bury Rock, and Rock just kept getting stronger and stronger and stronger. But you know, Triple H is one of those guys I've noticed. He has always had enough tact and class to be like, okay, you know what, I was wrong. We can fix it. But Michaels
supposed to know the Lord now.
That's what I was about to say. Ain't he saved now?
That's what he said.
The Lord now, Bishop.
That's what he said. I mean, I don't know. I'm not judging another man's salvation. I don't know. That's the report that's out there. Yes, that is the report that is out there.
I'm not either. I'm just saying he's supposed to know the Lord. That's all I'm saying.
No, you're right. That is the report that's out there. That he has gotten saved, and that he knows Jesus.
I love the way you put that. That's the report that's out there.
Because I don't listen. I'm not gonna say he is. I'm not gonna say he's not. I don't know Sean Hickenbottom personally. By the way, for y'all though that don't know, that is his actual name.
That's his real name, right? Not Shawn Michaels.
I don't know him personally. So, but that is what's out there. That he knows the Lord now.
That he know the Lord.
So,
he's petty.
But he was. I mean, but that was the thing with him and Brett back in the days. Like Brett was like, yo, I don't respect this dude, and that was the biggest problem. And Brett didn't respect him. He didn't respect Brett, and that's what led to the Montreal Screwjob. Although I still feel the Screwjob was Brett's fault.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of people who disagree with me, but I'm standing 10 toes down on that. I blame Brett 100% because he took the money from WCW at Vince's behest because Vince needed to get out of that contract. But Brett knows the rules. You're leaving a territory, you go out on your back, you do the business. You got to do the job.
You got to go out looking at the lights.
That's how it works.
That's how it goes.
He didn't want to do business, so in the words of Triple H, and Triple H just told the story, he said, well, if he won't do business, we'll do business for him.
He didn't want to do it in Detroit. He didn't want to do it in Canada because he said that's his hometown. Then he didn't want to do it in Detroit because he said it's too close to his hometown. So what are we doing here, Brett? Come on.
And I don't disagree with with that decision because Vince was right. Because just a year earlier, when Alundra Blaze left, she showed up on WCW television with the WWE Women's Championship at the time and dropped it in a trash can. She destroyed the WWE Women's division with one drop. Vince was like, I can't let that happen again. You can't show up on their television show as my champion. Absolutely not.
And remember, Flair did it years ago.
Yep.
Flair came to WWF with the World Heavyweight Championship.
And said, this is the real championship. Vince was like, we're not doing that again.
That was before they were blurring it out.
Yep.
They were Bobby Heenan showed up with the belt before Flair even got there.
And Vince said, we're not doing this again.
Vince was like, no, they're not going to get payback for that. Because they were always wanting to get payback for that moment.
Mm-hmm. So,
and Vince was like, absolutely not. Y'all not taking the winged eagle over there.
So so Brett, in Vince's words, Brett screwed Brett.
I agreed. Yep. And I said the same thing, Bishop. I agreed with the decision. Yeah, I agree with it.
If you understand wrestling, you'd be crazy not to agree with the decision. Only a fan who doesn't really know how it works would say, "Oh, the WWE did Brett wrong." No, they didn't. Brett tried to screw the WWE, and Vince said, "Not on my watch."
Yeah, Brett tried to do it on his own terms.
That's not how this works. You got to do the job.
Loser leaves town.
It's called professional courtesy.
That's it. You do the job. You give back to the business.
And the biggest thing is he didn't want to drop it to Sean. That was the problem. He didn't want to drop it to Sean.
Yeah, he didn't mind dropping it to anybody else. He just didn't want to drop it to Sean.
But that was the guy. So
and the promoter, that's what the promoter wanted. You do what the promoter tell you.
And what killed me about Brett then is like Brett is like always talk about how much he respected the business and how his family. Your daddy would have smacked you in your head if he was alive to see you do that. You know you're supposed to go out on your back. You know that's how it works.
When you retire, you got to go out on your back.
And you leave it, if you retire and if you leave a territory, you go out on your back.
The only one he didn't do that for was Sting.
Yep.
But everybody else that retired lost. Sting is the only one they didn't do that for.
Even the great Ric Flair went out on his back.
Went out on his back. Shawn Michaels super kicked him. I'm sorry.
I love you.
I love you. Bang. Oh, Yeller.
Yep. Shoot the dog.
Put him down.
I know we're getting ready to go, but we got a 5-game losing streak happening over there in the Bronx. What's going on?
I just think it's the dog days.
Dog days of summer.
I think he's getting ready to enter the dog days. That's all I think it is.
Not getting ready to. They there.
They'll recruit. Yeah, they'll.
and you got to remember, half of the pitching staff's on IL.
Yeah.
Jazz just came back from an injury. DJ LeMahieu just came back from an injury. Giancarlo's not back yet.
I thought when did they activate him today or yesterday?
I think there was talk of activating him this week. I don't know if it happened already, but he's just coming back. Either way, he's just coming back.
And he's got to get his rhythm.
Yeah. I mean, Judge has been carrying the offense, but, Cody Bellinger hasn't been, I'm about to say Clay Bellinger, that's his daddy. Cody Bellinger hasn't been all that great. Paul Goldschmidt is old. This thing with the Yankees and old first baseman, I don't understand it.
It's become a tradition.
Pretty much. It's literally the offense has been Judge. It's been the Ben Rice kid.
Goldschmidt is 37.
Yeah. But the Yankee offense has been Judge, it's been Ben Rice, and it's been the shortstop. What's his name that took over for Jeter? The other young kid. That's been the offense this year. That's been the offense. And the pitching.
Hey, the Mets just dropped 3 out of 4 to the Rockies.
Dog days.
After beating up on LA, they go play Colorado and drop 3 out of 4. So
yeah,
go figure.
It's the dog days. You gotta, you start worrying after the All-Star break. After the All-Star break, that's when you start worrying.
Yeah, mid-August, late August, if they doing that, then you worry.
As always, every year, I fully expect both the Yankees and Mets to be right there, lingering around first place, if not in first place, both of them in mid to late August. I fully expect it.
So
they're definitely gonna get one of the. They're gonna get the top wild card, definitely.
Subway Series
if they don't win the division.
I think if they both win the division, you get the Subway Series. The problem, the wild card is tricky because the way it's set up right now, that extra round. And baseball is that I will give baseball their props. They got it right with their extra round, with their wild card round. They got it right because they make it real hard for the opposing team. Because firstly, if you're the lowest seed, you gotta win 2 out of 3 on the road. All 3 games it's a 3-game series, and all 3 games are on the road.
Yeah.
You got to win 2 out of 3 on the road. That's how it should be.
Yep.
You have to earn your way into the postseason.
You the wild card. You don't get rewarded.
You don't get reward. You get no reward. So And then again, that's an extra round, which means you got to set up your pitching, which means your ace is going to go in game one, which probably means if you do get out of the round, your ace is not going in game one of the division series.
Right. Your ace, your rotation is gonna be messed up.
Yeah, the baseball got it right. Baseball. If you get to the World Series as a wild card in baseball now, you earned it.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, so I just think it's just the dog days, bro. I don't think it's anything to worry about right now. I think they'll catch fire. But
Yeah.
you know, look, it's June. It's the middle of June.
Yep, we're running into halfway through the season very shortly. Yankees got off to they got off to a better start than I thought they would.
Better stuff we got on to last year. Hopefully.
I felt it's not quite as good as they got off to last year, but I felt like they were going to be fighting an uphill battle most of the season, and they really haven't. They've been good.
Listen, next week is going to be so hot up here. I'm dying. I want to see do the Mets and Yankees got home games next week here in New York because
The heat starting down here for us. It's gonna be 91 tomorrow.
yeah,
Here
we start
in
our
Richmond.
heat starts on Sunday.
See, it's
91, 92, 97. From Monday to Thursday next week, we're gonna be in the
in the
final
90s.
furnace.
Yep,
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
90 tomorrow, 91 on Thursday. It's gonna go down to 86 on Friday, 89. I'll be in New York Saturday. Friday and Saturday I'll be in New York this week. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But down here it's gonna be 93 over the weekend.
Yeah,
Then-
I was in
then
I
next
was in
Monday,
Atlanta last
95.
week, and it was in the 90s every day last week in Georgia. It was 91, 92, 94
Oh,
every
yeah,
day.
it's getting to New York. It's 94 on Sunday. Woo.
Bro, I'm telling you,
I'm in
it's gonna
Atlanta.
be hot the whole week.
I'm in
You in,
Atlanta. I'm
you in Atlanta this week?
uh,
This weekend?
Friday and Saturday. You know,
Oh, you preaching for what's his name for his consecration?
Burton.
Burton, yeah. Oh yeah, it's 90s all week in New York next week. Good lord.
Yeah, man.
You guys got to try Magnolia Cafe, Magnolia Cafeteria.
Was that in Atlanta?
It's in Atlanta, Tucker, Georgia.
Okay,
It's a soul food spot.
I'll be down there for the summer, so I will be trying it.
Magnolia Cafeteria. I don't. It's like right up from Dwayne Meyer's church.
Okay.
Yo, I'm going there Friday. As soon as I land.
You landed it going straight there.
As soon as I land, brother. That food, that soul food is crazy. That food is crazy. And I'm going to the gym.
Liberty improved to 10-1 tonight. 34 from Sabrina Ionescu.
I wanted them to run the board this year. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah, but I mean, you know that's not gonna happen. These are pros. But they did improve to 10-1 with an 86-81 victory over the Atlanta Dream tonight at the Barclays Center. Breonna Stewart, 23 points. I mean, I'm telling you, the addition of Natasha Cloud as the point guard, it's taking this team to a whole nother level.
That's ridiculous, yo.
Because now Stewie and Ionescu go back to being what they are, which are pure scorers. Take notes, New York Knicks. Get your best players off the ball.
Get a point guard that can run the show.
Because that one move, bring
So
in
are you saying-
Natasha
First point
Cloud.
guard.
So are you saying that Jalen can't run the show, Jay? Are you saying that?
I'm saying we need a pass first point guard.
Or at least somebody who can take that pressure off of you. I'm
I'm
not gonna front. I
saying
want
Jalen-
Lonzo Ball. I
Jalen
want
can
Lonzo
do it,
Ball.
but he doesn't. It's like Michael Jordan. It's like Pippen said about Jordan. He can do it. He just doesn't want to. And I think that's Brunson. He can do it, but he doesn't want to.
Did you guys see the clip that I sent y'all from 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, where Melo was talking about at some point you got to take over the game on like he was basically saying what I was saying that they should do, and Jay, you was saying he's not going to do that, which I understand he's not going to do that.
But now you understand why. You understand why.
Right, with all the
hearing
stuff coming out
these
about
stories
Tibbs. Yeah.
Tibbs.
All the stuff coming out
You
about Tibbs.
understand
Yeah.
why.
Absolutely.
Now we hearing it. Now we know we were suspecting it, but now we know Tibbs was a hard dude to play for.
Yeah.
He was a hard dude. And that's what I was saying. If Jalen would have tried that, this guy was crazy enough to sit this dude. He sat Cat in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. Think about that. He sacked our second primary scorer in the fourth quarter of a playoff game and brought him back in with 2 minutes to go.
And when asked why, he said, because we were just searching. Searching for what? What were you looking for at that point?
I need a massage. This thing right here is a blessing from God, yo.
But, bro, if you think about what we were, listen, everything we said was right. What you said was correct. What D-Lo said was correct. What I said was correct.
It was all right.
Everything we said was correct.
Not Davey.
Oh, no. Oh, well, forget
And
it.
that's why I'm going to say to you haters out there, don't ever tell us we don't know this game.
Right. Because everything
Don't ever
we said
tell
was
us we
true.
don't. Everything we said about this man and what had to be going on in that locker room was right.
Yo, when
Everything.
Butler said this 2 years ago, he said, I don't think they practice. He said that two
He sure
years
did.
ago
Sure
on
did.
this broadcast.
Sure did.
Not a year ago, 2 years ago.
And he was right. Dead right.
And the players said it. We don't know our roles. You can't bring somebody back to coach a team, and then you can't bring that man back, whether they got somebody lined up or not. You can't bring him back.
We don't know our roles.
We talk about professionals that don't
I
know
was
their
going to say
roles.
that. Yep. That's
That is
crazy to
man.
me. That's crazy.
That
to
is
me.
crazy. That is crazy. We don't know our roles? What?
And there you have it.
Well, it's been
And you're supposed to still bring this guy back because we got to the Eastern Conference Finals.
absolutely.
That's the reason why we supposed to bring him. They're supposed to bring him back.
And that's why, you
Send that
know,
man packing. Get him out of here.
and that's why we know this wasn't an impulse firing. This was going to happen no matter what.
That's what Melo said. Melo said this was going to happen. They knew that they was firing this.
They knew he wasn't coming back. Exactly. This was, and I think the exit meetings were just to confirm the thoughts, and they got the confirmation they needed.
Yeah.
Do y'all realize that Dolan does not sit up in the luxury box when
No,
the
he
game
sits
is
on the
going?
floor.
He sits on the floor. He's sitting there watching.
He's sitting next to the bench.
He's literally feet away from Tibbs
Right.
watching this guy.
He sits next to the bench.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, do y'all understand the owner is sitting next to the bench as the coach is doing his job?
So I'm sure he's asking questions like, I don't think this is supposed to be like this.
No. The question he's asking is, why am I paying these guys that are not playing?
That too.
Because he probably don't know. I know he don't know the X's and the O's, but I am sure he is asking that question.
From a business perspective.
Yep.
Why am I
From a
paying?
business
Why
perspective.
am I paying these guys? You got these guys on the bench and they haven't come on the court not once. Why am I paying them?
And he's sitting right there. See, that's the point everybody. Dolan doesn't sit up where owners sit. Dolan is on the floor.
Let me give you a price tag here. Precious Achiuwa made $6 million this year to sit on the bench.
Precious Achiuwa made $6 million this year to sit on the bench.
And that's what Dolan is looking at.
And
I
here-
paid this guy $6 million.
And here I am with my dumb self going on the basketball court last August trying to dunk for free at 50. When I could have went to Madison Square Garden.
I sat on the bench
Hey.
for the league minimum.
I know a little bit of basketball. I
For the
played
league
high school basketball. You ain't got to play me. I never have to get on the court. Just put me on the bench for $3 million, and I'll be fine.
And one of the warm-up suits.
In a warm-up suit, and never have to have surgery not one time. Thank God for Dr. McCall. What's this guy's name? Dr. McCall. His last name is Dr. McCall. So it's Dr. McCall. orthopedic surgeon for the Brooklyn Nets. He works at a Methodist hospital. My man, fix my knee up real good. Shout out to you. Not going to be a Brooklyn fan, but shout out to you.
Campaign made $3 million this year to sit on the bench.
$3 million to sit on the bench. I'd have took that $3 million and had my knee. I'd have took that $3 million and never dislocated my toe. Come on, man.
Landry Shamet made $2.6 million this year to sit on the bench.
Come
And
on.
Landry Shamet loves to play here. He loves.
Oh, he wants to be back. I bring
He
him
wants
back.
to come back.
I bring him back.
I want to run it back with this same team.
Achua's not coming back. Precious already said he ain't coming back.
Why not?
For what you just said. He didn't play.
When you know
It's a different coach. Give another coach a chance.
Bro, he didn't have a role.
when you know that
Because
you
the coach never gave him one.
I understand what you're saying, but you got to understand it from his point of view. With no coach, that means uncertainty for sure.
So let's get this guy a coach before the free agent signing.
Precious is 25 years old.
We need to keep him.
But this is what J-Back is saying.
He locked up Siakam.
He's 25 years old, and he wasted a year of his prime doing nothing this year. Tom Thibodeau wasted a year of this young man's prime.
I don't use the word hate. I don't want to use it now. So
You strongly dislike the coach?
I strongly dislike Tom Thibodeau, and I never want to see him again ever in my life.
He wasted a year of a 20. If I'm Precious, I wouldn't want to come back either. Y'all wasted a year of my
I wouldn't want to
prime.
come back for this coach. Show me somebody who is going to include me in the system, and I'm willing to come back. It's not like his market value is sky high. He didn't play enough.
Again, you wasted a year of my prime, so I'm not even gonna get that $6 million I got from you last season.
No, we're gonna give you that $6 million again. We can give him the $6 million.
They're not gonna give him that $6 million because we're talking about luxury tax implications, and he will be due a raise.
Hey man, you just made this very, very hard for me just now, dog.
I'm sorry, but that's the new collective bargaining agreement. That second apron
It's
is
those
tight.
aprons, man. Those aprons, they handcuff you.
So
They
he might
handcuff
get the $6 million again, but it's not gonna be from the Knicks.
I got an apron. It's magenta.
I got a black one.
I got a black
got a
one and a
black one
magenta
and a
one. I got a
magenta.
white one. I got a burgundy one.
Oh my
I got a black
god.
one. I got a white one. I got a come on with the aprons. Come on,
I agree, but this is the basketball world that we live in.
Tips
You know
messed
what's
it.
crazy? The NBA is probably the richest sports organization in the world. Next,
No,
to
that's still the NFL.
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 The NFL TV deal is ridiculous.
Or is it NFL and then NBA, or is it NFL, MLB, and then
It's
NBA?
NFL MLB.
Yeah.
There's still so much money. Why not come up off of this salary?
Remember, MLB don't have a salary cap.
Come up off this salary cap, man.
That was the lockout in '99. That's what that lockout was about in '99. That shortened season when we went to the finals. That's what that lockout was, so they could put the salary cap in. Because remember, before that, there was not a salary cap. Because remember, the Bulls would just having Mike come back on 1 year, $30 million
1
contracts.
year, $30 million deals.
Wait a minute. There was a salary cap, though.
No, there was not.
Not back then.
Basketball didn't have a salary cap.
Did not have a salary
I
cap.
can't believe it.
They did not.
But remember, they were getting 53 cents on the dollar.
You got to remember that's a league that
Isaiah
didn't
said
become
that.
that didn't become prominent until the '90s. So there was never a need for the salary cap. And
their
then Jordan
best
came in and they
financial
started
time
making all
was
that money. Yeah.
Was when Jordan was there, and they were getting 53 cents on every dollar. So they were getting they were getting the bigger share.
That CBA was crazy. The
Then the
players was getting
owners
all
were.
the money. Yep.
The players were getting all the money. It was 53 cents on every dollar. Isaiah even said it. He said Jordan was good for business.
Yep. They was killing.
They were killing, bro.
And they said, "Oh, Mike getting ready to retire. Up, we gonna lock this up now."
Remember, Larry Johnson signed for 12 years, 84
mil.
And I forgot the other one signed for like and then Zoe signed that $100 million.
Zoe got
deal.
100. Then the next year, KG got 120.
KG got
Houston.
And then the next year, Shaq got, I think, like 130.
Yeah, and Allen Houston got that 7-year 113.
He got that 7-year 113.
Yeah. So they saw where these salaries were going.
No, they signed Allen Houston to 7 years. They signed. That was the second contract.
That was the second contract.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because the first contract that he got was a crazy contract.
It was 80 million. It was four for 20. It was 80 million. It was 4 for 20.
We backed up the Brinks truck for Chris Childs too.
Yeah, because that was our backcourt of the future.
Yeah, the Allen Houston got 4 for 20, and Chris Childs got like 4 for like 12.
Remember, Chris
was
Childs
crazy
was
money
coming
back
off that
then.
crazy season
With New
in
Jersey.
New Jersey.
Yep.
He killed over there in New Jersey that year.
I remember Chris Childs for one thing: 2-piece and Coke.
He
2-piece
the
and a biscuit.
heck out of Kobe.
2-piece of the biscuit.
Yo, my man, like bing bing, like oh.
And they were flush shots too. It wasn't no I'm a swinging.
Yeah, it was in a glance, right?
Bang,
on the chin. Yep. He 2-pieced Kobe.
He did it as a Knick. Rah. Before we go.
We gotta go.
Before we go though, how y'all feeling the vibe in the Big Three though?
It's getting good.
Listen, I love competitive sports.
The
love
Big
competitive.
Three.
I like when it's real competition, and it don't get no realer than that.
Dwight Howard
and Steve, and was it Steven Smith?
No, the boy that he just played.
It was Beasley.
He just played Beasley from Coney Island.
It was Beasley. Lance Stevenson.
Lance Stevenson.
Dwight Howard and Lance Stevenson
went at it.
They was
this
fighting,
weekend.
Dog. Like
real fight.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love competitiveness. You know, Ice Cube is loving it. Is bringing a higher profile to the Big Three.
Beasley
shout out to Ice Cube. He's really made that 3-on-3 thing work.
He's
Beasley talking a lot of jump lately.
And what about what's that other league where Beasley and Lance Stevenson played each other?
Oh, that 1v1 league?
Yeah. They try.
Somebody's gonna put some money behind that.
Melo said he ain't doing
it. They try to get ISO Joe out of retirement.
Well, somebody's gonna put some money behind that, and when they put some money behind that, they're gonna run that league like boxing.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be crazy. They're gonna run that league like boxing, that 1v1 league. That's gonna be watched more than the NBA. If somebody put some money in that, they're gonna be watching that more than the NBA.
Well, we were saying that All-Star Weekend should be a 1v1 tournament, but the players will never do it because they're all prima donnas. Nobody want to lose.
Next show about All-Star Weekend, because they just did something else new to the All-Star. This is like the fourth year.
USA versus the world. Yes.
Who cares about that? I don't want to see
nobody.
That. I see that in the Olympics.
I want to see a 1v1 tournament. Give me all NBA first team versus all NBA second team 1-on-1 at each position.
Do they not realize that all they're doing is giving us the Future Stars challenge from 4 years ago?
Basically.
That like you're giving us the Friday night game from 4 or 5 years ago now.
Correct.
Because those players are now all-stars. So now we got to watch that game from 4 or 5 years ago again. Oh, let's see how they were when they got older. I'm not into that. It's like time machine basketball now.
Mind you, they're not going to play hard. And that's the bottom line. They're not going to play hard.
Craps. I think they need to eliminate the dunk contest or go and get street dunkers.
Oh, the dunk contest is trash.
Go get street dunkers and let a team sponsor street dunkers.
The only thing they should keep from All-Star Weekend is the 3-point shootout.
The 3-point shootout.
No, you can keep it because that's actually compelling. That's fun to watch, to see somebody go on a bender and get 30 points in a round, and then you got somebody coming behind them. You got to get this to stay in it.
Yeah,
like that's interesting. I can live with that.
Yeah.
Everything else got to go.
All-Star Weekend is trash.
The scoring, the skills competition need to go too.
Oh God, please get rid of that.
Especially after last year.
After what Chris Paul and Wemby did, what in the name of
that was terrible. That was terrible.
First of all, I think that was a slap in the face to the league.
It was. That's why they got disqualified.
And it was a disgrace.
It was a disgrace.
It was a disgrace.
I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Listen, I would have, if I'm Adam Silver, I would have fined them for that. I would have fined them. Not just disqualified them. I would have fined them for that. What are you doing?
The whole weekend was a debacle, man. LeBron flying in, taking up a spot, and then not playing in the game.
Nigga didn't even put on his uniform for the pictures. The nigga stood there in a sweatsuit.
Yo, it was the whole weekend was a debacle, man. It was
terrible. It was terrible.
You know, you can't talk about LeBron. Key is watching.
Listen, she know how we feel. Listen, none of us have any issues with LeBron, the basketball player. Our issue is with LeBron, the man.
He's gonna be here.
Call it what it is.
He'll be at FanFest this weekend.
I heard.
You know,
she actually put it up. She actually put it up on Facebook to let us know.
Groupie.
I don't care. I'll be in New York this weekend, but I ain't going to FanFest. And definitely, if I was going to FanFest, I wasn't going to see him.
What you say, Bishop Butler? What you say?
She's a groupie?
P.
With a capital group.
Groupie in all caps. Groupie. She's my sister. I love her, but she is a groupie. LeBroniac. Groupie.
Bronsexual.
Bronsexual.
Oh, bronsexual, yes.
Oh God. Oh my God. We gotta get out of here because I
Good show tonight. Close us out, Kilo.
Well, we're back. After 1 week hiatus, as you can see, we're in the throes of everything. The NBA Finals.
1 week or 2 weeks. 1 week or 2 weeks. I think he was going 2 weeks.
Nah, one.
No, one. Because remember, we were supposed to be gone that first week, but Tibbs got fired, so we came on. So then we didn't come on last week.
Right.
But to make up for the week that we were supposed to miss. We were supposed to actually be back last week, but we got pushed.
We flip-flopped.
Yeah, our timeline got pushed back a little bit, but we're back. We'll be back in this spot again next Tuesday. Send your questions, your ideas. I actually made a new friend on social media on TikTok, Coach Reek, who's also from New York, big New York Knicks fan. He also does AAU coaching. I'm going to bring him on one day during the summer so we can talk about this. He's got some very interesting takes as it comes to what the Knicks should do next in terms of their coaching search. And I like what I'm hearing from him. So I already reached out to him. He's down. So I'll let you guys know when we're going to have him on. But we want to hear from y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us all year long and now all summer long. Join us next week as we're back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 8 p.m. on Tuesday night. Got some more WWE to talk about. We got some more baseball to talk about. L, yes.
I got a prediction.
Yes.
Pacers in 8.
And Halliburton gets a quadruple double.
Halliburton gets Halle Berry.
Halle Berry gets a quadruple double.
Halle Berry gets a quadruple double and Pacers in 8, baby.
I got a more realistic prediction. He's not playing Game 6 and they're going down. That's it.
OKC's going straight to the chip. Get that parade route ready.
He's not going to play Game 6.
Strange.
Shout out to my man Hartenstein.
Lies.
Shout out to my man Hartenstein.
Isaiah Hartenstein got the money and a ring.
Got the money in the ring. He left New York to do it, but shout out to Hartenstein. Maybe I'll buy a Hartenstein jersey.
He was a big part of their chance. If they do complete it, he will have been a big part. But shout out to Obi Toppin.
It'll be no. It'll be a Nick Hartenstein jersey on clearance.
Of course,
I'm not buying no OKC jersey.
But you're right. But as far as basketball goes, shout out to Obadiah Toppin.
Obi Toppin is making
balling. He's making tips. He's making our case as well about this coach.
And we traded him for nothing.
2 second-round picks.
We traded that man for 2 second-round picks. It wasn't even another basketball
simply
player.
Because
those 2 second-round picks didn't even translate to a player. We wound up giving those picks away from Macau.
Simply because he cussed out Tibbs after a game where he could have contributed and said and actually had the balls to say something about it. He cussed Tibbs clean out. Y'all, we've all heard the sound bite. He cussed Tibbs clean out and said in the clip, can't coach.
Could you send that clip into our text thread? I just want to look at it again.
Okay, I'll find it.
I never saw it. This is the first I'm hearing.
Oh no,
of it.
it's an audio. It's audio only. It's audio only. But I'll send it. I'll send it.
Please,
You can hear you will hear Obi going in. He first he yells like "Yo Tibbs," and then it's Tibbs says something back that you can't really understand, and Obi just goes off on him. 2 days later, he was traded.
Get rid of this coach. I'm glad he's gone. Davey,
gone.
I don't care what you say. If you're watching, Davey, co-host Davey, if you're watching, I don't care what you say. Gone. And if you don't like it, you can go with him.
Oh wow, so aggressive. Well, for Bishop L, for Bishop J Mac, in the mic. Okay.
If you don't like it, Davey, you can go with him.
Okay. Sorry, I had to get some preacher chords behind that. We out of here. We will see y'all next week. Have a great night, everyone.
Yo, this is the state of emergency. Check. I need all my Knick fans right now to grab your jerseys, your popcorn, your sodas, whatever you gotta do to get ready for this game. I don't care if you're a cheerleader, an athlete, a couch potato. We're here to restore the field. Matter of fact, how do you say it from New York? What I say from New York? Hey, yo, let's go now.
Hey, yo, I bring that New York energy. Talking 42nd Street. Alley hoop finger roll. Ain't nobody checking me. Crossover through the legs. Step back, hit a three. Still up in the hood, but got big baller tendencies. She just trying to get flued out to John Kennedy. Just to see the Knicks play. Make a couple memories. New York, if you ain't from here, don't pretend to be. And if you ain't rocking with the Knicks, you an enemy. Yeah, look at us. Whole city is wild. This is New York. Why y'all ever counted us out? Any game we attend, yeah, we taking it now. Fast break on the court, all up and down. Lead a garden in the pigsty. Yeah, we get it on this side. Bacon, egg, and cheese or the lobster mac with the ribeye. Either way, we winning the overtime if we get tired. Get it with the team, yeah, that's just something we live by. Hey, yo, first quarter in, we gon' turn it up. Gotta warm up first, then we taking it down.